Hi, my name is Kendall Hill, and I am the Marketing and Communications Coordinator at Edmonds Center for the Arts. Today I'm here to talk to you about our new conversation series, Backstage at ECA. Backstage at ECA is a series of conversations between myself, staff members, artists, and community leaders. It's a chance for us to all come together and talk about the things that connects us all, and a chance for you to also get to see the personalities of the artists, community leaders, and some of the staff. It's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that brings you a lot of the amazing performances and programs that you see, and now this is your chance to get to see and meet a lot of the people that are doing a lot of that work behind the scenes, and see ECA in a new light, and also some of the artists in a new light. I'm excited for you to join the conversation. Stay tuned for Backstage at ECA.
We're gonna
yes.
Operation Get Kendall Dancing is
yes.
play.
Let's just out with people that will spark you to be like, oh, I could actually hold that in my body in public and just live my life
And just be who I am.
Yes.
Fully
I love
me.
it. There's a few things that you said there, which is like that hits home. As I'm on the journey of understanding myself more, if I'm not fully showing up for myself, there's no way that I can show up for anybody else. And it's a continuous ongoing journey. If I cannot be my full self with myself, there's no way I can be my full self with anybody else. And that's also like scary parts of understanding who you are. What I have decided to do over the past maybe 10 years, and I say like years 1 through like 4 were learning years, um is to fully show up as myself and not give anybody else any other choice. Like, I am not going to give you the choice of this person and that person. And I've done that for a really long time. I did the code switching, I did that, and then I'm just like, well, you know, I it just wasn't feeling good. So I'm still working to just show up as my full self, and I'm not going to give you any other choice but to like the person that you see on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, is the same person you're going to see in these meetings on the street. Like, I don't want to, I'm doing my best not to change any of that. Um, I had a conversation with a friend yesterday, and just like I purchased a lot of like dresses and dress t-shirts and all this stuff, and realizing like I'm still perceived in a male body, and I'm afraid to like wear these dresses, and they're really cute, and I was just like, why am I doing that? And I'm like, you're not fully showing up as yourself. So I'm like, this summer will be short shorts and long t-shirt dresses because I love my legs, and so they don't get nothing but cute little legs this summer. And so I'm just like, deal with it. That's not my responsibility for you to deal with how uncomfortable you are with me. And when I look at like inside of organizations, it's like people are so afraid of showing up as themselves. Like, if you allow me to show up as my full self, you're going to get the best versions of me to help move your organization forward. If you only ask for half of me, then guess what you're going to get. And you're wondering why work slacks and why people aren't motivated, why people lose interest, because you're asking people to show up only in half of who they are.
100%.
And that, it makes no sense at all. And it's like, and if you allow people to show up fully, it may be scary at first, but it's not as scary as you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
That's the other tripped out part about it. So I'm just like, let people show up in their full selves, and maybe they will like their job more. Maybe you'll actually be like, oh, you're a super dope person that thinks a way that I can't think because I'm actually asking you to show up in your full self. And then as people that do the hiring, the EDs and all of that, y'all need to show up as y'all full selves to move the work forward. Like it's a very interesting thing. Vulnerability in the workplace should not happen. It does not happen. And so when I work with people in studio settings, that's the thing that I ask for is like vulnerability. And that does not mean that it's a weakness. It's just like, I want you to come in with your full self, because if not, we're not going to move towards the thing that we need to move towards. And a lot of times what we move towards is not the product at the end. It is the process before the product. So I'm just going to stop there. That just really like just showing up as my full self. I'm not giving people any other choice.
Can I just say that I love that, because that's actually the phase that I am currently at now. In the sense of like, I'm accepting that I need to show up as myself. And I am fully aware that if I don't for myself, I get mentally and emotionally drained and overwhelmed. And I just have to be who I am. I have to not code switch. I literally have to just show up as me, because if I don't, nothing is going to move progressively forward as it should within my own circle personally, like outside of the work world, but especially inside the work world.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's just so much where people of color don't want to be like, I know I always had that feeling of, I don't want to be your what is it called, the resident
Token.
Black person, the token Black friend or the token Black person, or any of that. Like I didn't want that, and I was trying to always avoid that, but I'm learning sometimes you just have to be that, but you need to make it work for you, like how you're going to make it work. And I think I told you when I reached out to you about this project that was part of like how I was going to show up as myself, was in this, because this is like a perfect place for me to not only let our friends within the community, and then people like partnering people like yourself who presented on our stage and partnered with us in other programs, show up as themselves completely and fully in a very diverse way, because not everyone is going to look like you and I when I do these, but it's going to start having great conversations, and it's going to let people see just our true authenticness as an organization, but then also like me as an individual, because I don't know how many people actually know there is a Black person on staff at ECA.
I didn't. Until you reached out and I saw your face for the first time. I was like, I did the like, oh, okay.
You know what? I love when I get that reaction, actually. I love it because it solidifies it for me. It just like makes it even more apparent that I need to be doing things like this.
Of course.
Like it's like, girl, you're doing this, you need to be doing this, you're on the right track.
What we don't realize is like my liberation is directly tied into the liberation of Black trans women, and also tied into the liberation of Black children, tied into the liberation of Black women, tied into the liberation of other women. So when we allow people to be free and to be liberated as much as we can, as much as we should be, it is directly tied to our liberation. And we don't understand that. If we are keeping people in chains, then we are in chains ourselves. And that's the thing that I'm doing my best to try to like, for my freedom to happen and for me to be liberated, I can't hold anybody else in chains. Because then I got chains wrapped around my hands trying to hold you, which means I can't move.
Exactly.